Hi all, and welcome to week 3 of our mod asset highlight for City Skylines. It's Skylines Saturday. This is Lyellen. Not too much to update you for the week. We do have 5 more wonderful mods and assets to talk about. I do want to point out, so last week we highlighted zonable pedestrian paths, which I am a big fan of. There's been a little bit of controversy around that mod. I think everyone has to keep in mind that whenever you're looking at mods, you're looking at probably a single or a couple designers working on it, programmers. So there's not going to be a lot of support, and things might be a problem, etc. So zonable pedestrian paths is now turned into Traffic++ sort of automatically. It's added in a few different components, new roads, etc. And there's been a little bit of controversy about the fact that this adds new components to the game, which means that once you use the mod, you can't open it without it. So that's a little bit of an issue, especially for people who weren't aware that was going to be the case when it switched over. That said, I think the functionality still looks pretty good. I've heard some things about that there's been might be some issue around like crashing. I haven't run into it, but I think just as a lesson for folks when you're looking at workshop stuff, there's always going to be new things. There's always going to be people trying new things, and a lot of it's going to be in a beta kind of feel to it, so it may not work perfectly, and you got to be aware of that, and use it at your own risk. So for that, we'll get into this week. 5 new mods. I'm not featuring Gula this week, although you of course should be looking at Gula's stuff because it's always on the front page and it's well worth it, and I hope you enjoy. For my first mod today, I want to talk about the Extended Public Transport UI mod, which I absolutely adore. It makes me happy beyond belief. So this is our normal public transit, and you can actually see I've been fiddling a little bit. And you'll notice for buses, it's every line's the same color. It's really hard to control. I've had issues with it. If you click on this, the new Extended Transit one will allow you to click through and actually select none of the bus lines, so none of them are shown. Select all of them, so you see all of them. It shows you in one area here the stops, the passengers, how many trips are saved, vehicles on that bus line. So you can notice like 13 buses for 9. That's terrible. So I can click and, okay, this is the actual bus line. So I can delete it because it's not worth it. So it's really easy to find all the various things that you want to do. You can also you can't yet change the color in here, but you can change the color of the bus lines if you didn't know that already. And then it'll show up in there, so you can really easily start seeing what all the bus lines look like. I don't even know where that bus line is. Where is it? Bus line over here, so we can get up to the breadbasket and the wood I built. So yeah, it's a really nice setup. It'll do it for any of your public transit. It'll show you all of them, give you efficiency scores really quickly. For me, it is just an incredibly easy way to see it. And then if they can ever upgrade so that you can automatically change this line color right there, it's really the only thing that's missing. I don't know why we didn't have this already. It's one of those things that feels like a natural UI piece. Really lets you control a little bit more and have a better understanding of what the heck's going on. So this is the Extended Public Transport UI mod. It's by Acid Fire. Number 2 for today is actually a pretty small, quick mod, so I won't spend too much time on it, but I want to highlight it. It's called City Vitals Watch. It's by Underground Hero. And the reason it's nice is you can pop this out and suddenly you have a quick, you can sort of see exactly how you're doing on a lot of the main metrics. It fades away whenever you're there. You can move it just by dragging wherever you want it to be, and then you can of course hide this, and I think you can drag that now, so if you wanted to, you can move it a little bit closer. But really, what this does is give you a much better idea very quickly of what all these are, instead of having to click through here, then there, then there, then there. You can very quickly see exactly what your city needs or doesn't need. I'm always low on electricity, so it'll tell me that, but hey, incinerators are actually pretty full. They're more than full really, and landfill usage is low, so that's good to know. So it just very quickly gets to see all that. You can get rid of it if you don't want it. You can fade it in and out. Really nice, handy little mod. It feels natural. It's another one of those mods that just like feels like it should have been in the game, fits right in, everything else. So it's the City Vitals Watch by Underdog Hero. Our next asset today is actually the Space Needle by X3. And if you can see here, let's see if we place it. So Space Needle, you can see the small bit of noise there, but a very large circle of happiness. So if we place it down on a road, like so, and come out, you can see this is the Space Needle. It's in Seattle originally, but this is just an absolutely gorgeous model of it. I thought it was really well done. It's a nice iconic building. It helps you if you want to build out like a really cool city center. This building would allow you to do that. And I love that it's sort of at every level. It looks really good. That was too quick. Lots of detail here. Gets all the metal work done. And it makes people reasonably happy. It's not operating. It's right now, I don't know why. I need to figure that out now. But it's a iconic observation tower as a landmark of the Pacific Northwest, as well as a symbol of Seattle. It has a little bit of noise pollution. A little bit of upkeep, not too bad. Apparently you can place... Oh, it already exists. Okay, I was going to say you can place more than one, but you can see it has a massive circle there, which is kind of nice. So, this is the Space Needle. It's by X3. Our next mod is the Extended Building Information mod, which is by EMF and T-Pangolin, I believe. What I really like about this is that, so this is your basic building sort of mod. When you click on a building, you see this, it tells you what it can do. If you click on one of the level 5 buildings, it'll tell you what those can do. Let's see if we can find a non-5, right? So I want higher land value, high density residential building. What it does is a few things. It renames the buildings. There's a large set of new buildings that you can have. It also puts in sort of like descriptors, and I can't decide if I like the scripture itself. It doesn't, I mean, it's fine, but it doesn't do much for me, but I love this kind of detail. How it's looking at fully covered, what it feels like, land value progress, happiness. So I clearly need some more happiness here. It's really close at land value. There's a little bit of noise issues, some fire hazard. It shows you all of those, which are really cool. So you can see it over here, the same idea. How's it doing with cargo, because it's industrial. Noise, happiness. Great productive gasoline eater. That's a little bit of an odd name for a, this is all forestry. A little, you know. But if you look over here, best parts. All sorts of pollution, all sorts of that. Needs more services. So I don't even know what service it's low on, but it's clearly low on something. Maybe it's health. And you can go through and check that on all these buildings. Low residential, low density residential. They want more value, so it'll upgrade like that. Commercial, same kind of idea. How are parks? How's transportation? So it just gives you a lot more information that you really didn't have before, and I kind of really like that. It'll really help for me when I start actually planning a city. As opposed to just like plopping roads down. The goal is to plan out a city and how it looks, and if you want to control, you want to get everything up to level 5 or level 3, you can do that by sort of figuring out exactly what you need and balancing it. So this is the Extended Building Information mod, and it's by EMF and T-Pangolin. Our first building for this week is this firehouse. It's actually the Ghostbusters Firehouse. It's by Colin. I love it for a few reasons. One, I think it reminds me of the movie. I love the sign. I love the little place up top to sit. It's a really reasonably simple building, but it sort of fits into like what I think of as a older style New York view. I'm really hoping to get some more buildings that sort of have that brick old feel to it. I love the door. It's nice. What I also like is that it's sort of in between the other firehouses. So if you see it has only one fire engine capacity. It's only 4,000. This is 12,000, has 6. So it's not like the best thing, but I found that occasionally I need to like stick a firehouse somewhere random that I just need a little bit of coverage, and that really does well for me. So that's been what I've been sort of using it as. It's like, I just want one little bit of coverage here, and you can see it'll have a decent effect, but it's not a crazy effect compared to the regular firehouses. Actually, it went further than I expected up here. But it's the Ghostbusters Firehouse. It's by Cuddly Colin. I think it's a great little addition to the game.